G'day, here's another repair that I'm carrying out to my 2008 Country Coach Motorhome. 2008 Intrigue, as most of you who look at the channel know what it is. Today what we're going to be looking at is something that I damaged a little while ago when we were down in Prescott. We were looking at homes down there, so we thought we'd take the motorhome down there and stay in a couple of RV places and take a look around. One place that we stayed, the hookups were at the front of the coach on the driver's side, so the electric wasn't long enough, so I had to go and borrow an extension cable. But in the process of hooking up the water and repositioning the coach, I disconnected the electrics, but I didn't disconnect the water. And what I ended up doing was ripping the water valve out of the water bay. So this is replacing that water valve, where it came from, what it takes to replace it, and the interim repair that I done while I was in the site. So let's get ahead and start looking at what it takes to repair this inlet water valve, what the part numbers are, and how it goes in. Stay tuned. So here is the new Shoreflow water valve. This particular one, exactly the same one as it's fitted in there. This come from Amazon. It's $45. The part number of this, let's have a look. Here we go. Here's the part number, 183-02914. Pressure regulator, chrome, aftermarket. Pentair water. What did we get in the box? Oh, let's have a look. Hopefully we get a new valve. Set of instructions. We'll read those if we have to. Exactly what we expected. A new pressure regulating water valve. One other thing in here is an attachment if it needs to go at a 90-degree angle, but we're not going to worry about that because we're just going to hook it up directly as it was, or as it is, in the coach today. So nice new one. Comes with a cap on it as well. My one, the cap had broken. So this was my interim fix. This is a standard cheap RV water inlet. I got it from a local RV place while I was down there, and a 40 to 50 pressure, an RV water pressure regulator that I just screwed into the top of this. Connected that to the hose that was on the back of the regulator, and that's how I got out of that trip. When I got home, I fixed the old one where there's a copper collar inside here, and it literally just pulled that straight out. I disconnected it all, and I managed to reflange the copper collar over again, and it held. It doesn't leak, it works, so I'll keep it as a spare, as I said. This was the interim. I don't know how much this cost me at the time. The regulator was about $20-30, probably $15 for this. So it was about $50 to fix on site. That's what we have. Let's go and get it put in now. Stay tuned. Here we go. What do we need for this? We need a Phillips screwdriver, posi head, and a 3/8 spanner socket. Anything that you want to use in the back. This is going inside that compartment. There's the back of the valve. You've just got the straight connector that's coming in here. Undo this one. Let's take that off. There shouldn't be any water pressure in here. There's going to be a little bit of water coming out, as you can see, because it's going to drain down. That's all right. It's going to go on the garage floor. And then the front. Okay, so we're going to use a posi drive, Phillips 3/8 socket, and take this out of here. I seem to like this long Phillips screwdriver. I can do a lot with it. It feels a lot nicer to handle. You've probably got tools as well that you prefer using. I've got a shorter one here, but I just don't seem that keen on the short ones. Only trouble with this being a foot long any little slight movement when you come out of here, if you fall out of it, it takes a little bit to get back on and line up. Hey, what are we worried about? I lost one of the screws when I replaced this on site way back. There's another reason I like the long one, because you can turn it with your fingers. There we go. That was straightforward enough. And as I say, I've actually had this apart in here. It's really not a lot to it. But I'm going to keep this one as a spare. I need to find some screws, a new screw for this, a new screw and nut. I think I'll just go down to the hardware store and get some of these. Not too impressed the way that they drilled these holes. They're pretty rough. Anyway, I'll clean those up before I put them back in. Another look inside. I've got water dripping out. There's a water pump down there. You can turn it on, as I said, from here. And I won't do that because I'll get water coming out everywhere, because the tank's got some water in it, not a lot. I've got a filter up here, a water filter. So let's get on to the next bit. Okay, here we are, back with new hardware and the new valve. So let's put this get it connected up at the back. Temporary. New hardware, lock nuts and washers. Seems simple enough to replace. Don't know why I didn't do it earlier. Plug for Lowe's, I suppose. Lowe's and Home Depot here in Idaho, the southwest, and even I suppose Michigan, where I used to live. They're prevalent everywhere, but they're not far from me here. So Lowe's tends to have a lot better selection of hardware than Home Depot does these days. I've also got a place called Tacoma Screw, which is very handy. Tacoma Screw carry so many unique fixings. It's actually very, very handy, because they have shoulder bolts that I thought I wouldn't get when I was fixing another item on this coach. And they stock basically everything I ever wanted. So between Home Depot, Lowe's and Tacoma Screw, I can find all of the fixings that I ever need. Okay, I've got nylock washers on this now, nylock nuts I should say, as opposed to just flat nuts, so they're not going to come loose. There you have it. That wasn't too hard, was it? The screws, just in case you're wondering. There we go. 1024 3/4. New hardware, new water valve, pressure regulating water valve. Come on, get in there. There we go. As the actress said to the bishop. Make sure that connection is tight behind there. And it's finished. What do you think about that? Another job I'm happy with. Few minutes. 45, $6 for the stainless steel nuts, screws. 50 bucks fixed. And I'll keep the other one as a spare. So, hope this has helped you guys. A quick video on how to replace that valve and the part number. So if you ever need one, go and get one. Until next time, stay tuned. Take care.